Today, we're talking about one of the biggest challenges facing data center developers and EPCs, multi-site rollout. And we're joined again by Jude to break down how integrated manufacturing changes everything. When large developers build across multiple regions, what are the biggest challenges they face?
So the number one issue is fragmentation. Most developers are forced to work with 3, 5, sometimes even 8 different vendors across the regions. And that means every site becomes a snowflake. Different tolerances, different fabrication quality, different weld standards, different documentation, and that inconsistency leads to delays, cost overruns, and performance issues.
So what specifically causes that inconsistency?
It comes down to vendors operating differently. Every vendor has their own tolerances, QA systems, documentation format, and fabrication processes. Coatings and inspection standards, when you multiply that across regions, the developer and EPC lose predictability. You can't standardize your design kits, you can't plan accurately, and you can't guarantee the same performance across sites.
And for hyperscale and colocation operators, what do they actually want out of a manufacturing partner?
They want simplicity and repeatability. Developers want one set of tolerances, one documentation package, one QA system, one manufacturing partner that can support projects in the East, West, Midwest, and internationally without variability.
And this is where integrated manufacturing comes in, right?
Exactly. LJUNGSTRÖM eliminates regional fragmentation by bringing everything into one single ecosystem. Heavy structural steel, mechanical components, thermal systems, machining, coating, inspections, documentation. So instead of 8 vendors, you get one integrated partner. That means 100% repeatability. It means you can take the same design kit, deploy it in 5, 10, 15 sites. Every fabricated component matches the original intent.
How much does one point of accountability matter for EPCs?
It's huge. EPCs are managing aggressive schedules. When something doesn't fit or isn't coded to spec or arrives out of tolerance, nobody wants to hear, well, that vendor number 3, not us. Integrated manufacturing removes the finger pointing. There's one partner responsible for structural, mechanical, and thermal fabrication. One shop, one standard, one QA path, and that reduces risk dramatically.
Can you share an example of multi-site rollout and where integrated manufacturing made a difference?
Absolutely. We worked with a developer that was building 5 data centers across different regions. Their biggest challenge was airflow components, housings, transitions, and platforms were all being manufactured by different vendors. Nothing matched. They were seeing leaks in duct systems, rework during installation, tolerance drift, delays at every site. We standardize every component, the housings, the platforms, the duct transitions, the coatings, specs, and everything. By the second site, installation time dropped dramatically. By the 5th site, they had a perfectly repeatable system with 0 redesigns. That's the power of integrated manufacturing.
Why do hyperscale and colocation developers care so much about standardization?
Because they build in terms of programs, not projects. They're not building one site, they're building 10. They want every site to perform the same way. They want predictable costs, predictable timelines, predictable commissioning. Integrated manufacturing gives them exactly that.
If you had to sum up what makes LJUNGSTRÖM the right partner for a multi-site rollout, what would you say?
We give developers and EPCs confidence. Confidence that every beam, platform, housing, duct, or thermal component will be built to the same standard. Every time, across every region, we help them scale faster, reduce risk, and deliver consistent performance at true hyperscale.